Welcome to the extracurricular life. Because this was supposed to happen yesterday, but yesterday I was way too tired to show up on here. I'm not even going to hold you. Sometimes you just got to call it like, yo, I'm not going to force it. Because I'm going to sit up here and look like a zombie in front of these motherfuckers. So I said, since I'm not going to do it tonight, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And today is tomorrow. And here we are. So what up, what up? Thank you for joining the live, watching the replay, all of that goodness. You already know who I am. If not, get to know me. Watch the previous lives. There's like a thousand of them at this point. I do this like every other day, for the most part. Trying to get this tripod set up. So we're gonna talk a little bit, like we usually do. Kick the shit. The title that I titled this video is "Feeling Free to Do Whatever the Fuck I Want," or "What the Fuck I Want," however you want to call it. I ain't gonna spoil it. Let you call it. But yeah, man, I felt like that was a good title because as I was laying in bed last night and thinking about shit to talk about for tonight, I thought, man, that would be a good subject to build on. Smart Savvy, what's good? Fuck it, I'm gonna just let this rock. Um, yeah, so doing whatever the fuck, feeling free to do whatever the fuck I want to do, and this came to me as I was well, a little bit after I had a conversation or a lack of conversation with my dad last night. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how that played out, so you're gonna understand why I felt this way. I'm gonna ask you if you've ever felt the way, and then we're gonna build on that, and then we can talk about whatever the fuck after that, if you're down. So the other night, I came home after like a 13 and a half hour shift or whatever, which is really like 14 and a half hour because you know it takes a half hour to get there, half hour to get back, blah, blah, blah. I was dead tired. I just wanted to go to bed, but I still had to cook dinner, still had to take a shower. You know what I mean? Like still had to take notes or study the charts how I usually do. Because I usually, when I come home, I study the charts so I can make a play for the next day. And I still had all of that shit to do. So I'm just sitting there eating my cold ass salad. Like, damn, the diet life really got a hold of me right now. Cause you just don't lose weight like that when you 40 like you used to. So everything you eat, especially when you constantly on the road eating gas station food and shit, the shit don't really serve you. So I'm eating my salad last night. Boom. My dad come down the stairs. He like, yo, I need you to help me set up this. Basically, it's like an app that he downloaded on his Fire Stick from a friend that he know, and the app gives you access to like every channel there is in every state, pay-per-views, movie channels, all of this shit. And I already did this for him, mind you. I already did this for him. But I guess something happened where he had to reset the Fire Stick and it needed to get done again. So me not thinking too much about it when he asked me, I simply said, "No, I'm not trying to do that right now, Dad. Like maybe at another point. You know what I mean? Maybe another day." And he was like, and he was on the phone with his peoples. He get back on the phone with his people. He's like, he's not in the mood right now. And they start talking. He go upstairs. All right, take notes on that. Take notes. Remember that. So I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm like, yeah, I wasn't feeling like it. You could call it me not being in the mood or whatever, but I just wasn't feeling like it, and I said no. I feel like it's a healthy thing to be able to say no. And then like an hour go by, I finished eating, got out the shower, came back downstairs. I'm watching the charts. My dad gonna come back downstairs, and apparently he had a conversation with the dude that he was on the phone with about a job where this guy works at, and they pay good, they got good benefits. They only work 4 days a week, every weekend off and shit. So my dad come downstairs and he starts telling me about this job, how good it pays, how they got good insurance, and how the job that I'm currently working, the job that I'm currently working, he gonna tell me that basically paraphrasing, of course, that my job ain't shit because they don't pay that much and I work long hours and I probably gonna have to work weekends and they don't have benefits. I know all of this. All right. There's no reason for this man to be telling me what I already know. I've already had multiple conversations with my dad about speaking on the obvious and how when people speak on the obvious and it's not pertinent to the moment, it's not pertinent to the future, you're just haphazardly talking about what is and is going to be, it frustrates me. So when he said that, I just remained quiet because at this point, I'm so tired that I know if I say something, the conversation might go left. You know what I mean? Because it's just the way he presented the conversation. It wasn't, it wasn't setting the stage for a peaceful discourse. Let's just say. So me knowing me, I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just nod my head and say, okay. And then I asked him for the guy's number because in reality, all he really had to do was be like, "Yo, this guy just said he had an opportunity at the place he works. I think it's worth your while. Give him a call." That's all he had to say. But nah, he tried to come at me sideways. You know what I mean? So I ain't say nothing. And then at the end of the conversation, he's like, "Oh, I could tell you have an attitude because of the way that you're acting right now." Whatever. I still ain't say nothing. I'm like, yo, homie is really trying to bait me into an argument right now. So when I went to bed that night, last night, I started thinking about like how deep this programming may go. Like maybe it goes back to childhood. You know, I brought out my motherfucking child therapist real quick. I said maybe it goes back to my fucking childhood where I felt like if I said something in response that he didn't approve of, I would catch a whooping. You know what I'm saying? I would catch a spanking or some shit like that. Basically, physical violence. If I said something that didn't fit the way that he wanted me to respond. And I was thinking about that shit. And I was like, damn, maybe that shit is true. Like, maybe I've been programmed as a child to really just like really filter, edit, and fucking engineer everything that I say. And that's why I'm such a poet now. And like, I'm good at you know, just speaking and to everybody, but also I have a heavy edit process before I speak. And I was like, I wonder if that's because of this childhood programming that I went through, where it's like you couldn't really speak out of turn, you had to watch your tone and all of that, or else you would literally get fucked up. So I was thinking about that shit and I was like, damn, I wonder if anybody else could relate to that shit. Like maybe I should bring it to the community and see how y'all feel about it. Like, do y'all go through that with your caretakers, aka your parents, uncles, aunts? You know what I mean? Anybody who you perceive as an authority at some point in your life, like do you feel like you're free to speak to them without them catching feelings, or like you kind of know the way that they want you to respond, which is basically capitulate. You know what the word capitulate means? Capitulate is basically like when you go to the altar and you bow down to pray at the altar. That's capitulation. So like when authority figures or caretakers or whatever are speaking to you, and you kind of feel because you know them how they want you to respond, but you don't feel like that's the response that you have for them. What do you do? Because me, I learned to just be quiet. Like I'm not gonna say nothing. I'll talk about it in the day after. I come online and go live and talk to all my friends about it and shit. But I ain't gonna say nothing. But I feel like tomorrow probably I'm gonna ask them to go to dinner with me and I'm gonna have a whole ass conversation with my pops. Like, yo, this is what happened. This is why you thought I had an attitude. Me, I didn't have an attitude. Me, I was perfectly fine. However, I know that what I had to say wasn't going to benefit the rest of the night going peacefully. Let's just put it like that. You know what I mean? Let me see what y'all talking about. I already said what up to Smart Savvy. I see you, Mrs. Clayton. What's good? Yo, you live with your dad? Monet, nah, my pops is out right now. Um, Mrs. Clayton, thank you for telling people to hit that like button. I appreciate that shit. I'm a YouTuber, Jamie. What up, Jamie? Thanks for jumping in the chat. Don't forget to spring forward 1 hour ahead tonight. Yeah, we live in a time where we don't even have to remember that. My watch isn't even connected to the internet, but it automatically does it because it has like the dates programmed into it somehow. My phone automatically does it, so it's not something that I gotta really pay attention to. But thank you for reminding everybody, because it would be a bitch to forget, and then you fucking late or early to work tomorrow or some shit like that. My funny ass is about to drink some fucking coffee. Don't ask me why. I just been wanting coffee all day, and I've been putting it off. What's good with y'all though? High sense, what's good? Mercury retrograde, say less. Or shit. So that's what I kind of meant by titling this live. Feeling free to do whatever the fuck I want. Cause in so many ways, aspects, avenues of life, we engineer and edit what we want to say, what we want to do because of circumstance, existential circumstance, or the presence of other people, And I want to get to a point in life where it's not like that. You know what I mean? Like I want to be free to say whatever the fuck I want, or whenever I want, without, I'm always probably gonna think about what I say before saying it, cause I'll be thinking of some wild shit. But you know, less of that, like less studying of what I'm saying before I say it, or less caring about feelings. Because we gotta remember, there's so much shit that every single one of us has said in our lifetimes that we don't agree with right now, or that we wish we could take back if we, if we could. I think every single one of us has had one of those moments where, like, you can admit you said the wrong shit. So if you know that in the past, why not moving forward allow yourself to say whatever the fuck you want to say, and then if you disagree with the shit later, or if you figure out later that you were wrong, admit that you were wrong. Are we so beholden to this idea that we gotta be perfect in every fucking action that we take, that we really gotta double down even when we know we wrong? Like, I know so many people that do shit like that. They double down knowing that they wrong, but in order to avoid apologizing or admitting their error, they double down on the dumb shit. I'm gonna be up all fucking night. I hope y'all ready. Nah, I'm not gonna keep y'all up though. What y'all talking about? Kicking in with Chrissy was good. Never seen you before, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Kicking in with Chrissy says I really heavy. Never made the connection though. Smart Sally said when my parents were living, yes. High Sense says I cried. Damn. So I'm sure you've unpacked that if you've already noticed that, High Sense, but like, how do you feel like, if you know that that's what you were doing back then, how do you deal with it now? Do you still feel that urge to cry? And if and when you feel the urge to cry, how do you confront it? How do you reconcile that emotion? You know what I mean? Like, what do you do? Because that's how, what I do is I just be quiet, and I collect. I collect the moment. I rehearse the moment. Yo, and I'm definitely 100% one of those people who fucking obsess or fantasize over things that I could have said or that I could have said better in any given situation. So, you know, I just chalk that up to me sometimes not being witty enough. Like when we watch TV, we forget that it's scripted sometimes. But TV characters be having the illest fucking comebacks. I've met some people like that in real life, like where they could snap real quick. Like you be mid sentence and they already with the shit. And I'll be there sometimes, especially after a good cup of coffee. Like that shit is that shit be having me wired. I be telepathic, like I already know what you're saying before you about to say it. But kicking in with Chris, he says, I feel like my family doesn't really know me because I feel like I have to reserve certain parts of myself. Yeah, and that's deep because I mean, if it's not your family who's going to know you the most or be, you know all your quirks, then who gets that? I feel like every single one of us deserves or needs, it's like necessary even to have at least one or two people who you can totally let loose with. And like if you say something that's a little murky or off or just flat out fucking stupid and wrong, they don't condemn you for that. They, you know what I mean? If anything, they just be like, oh, that's just how this person is. Like I used to have a friend, and when I was just getting to know her, I was telling her this story about my cousin Robbie, who he, at least when he was younger, he used to have mental issues, and I forgot how I said it, but I said I know this is not the right word to say, but people used to think he was, you know, retarded. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna just say it. And she lost her motherfucking mind, bro. When I said the R word, to this day, like I'm so traumatized from the way she reacted from me saying the word after I gave the preface for it that I still to this day I'm like, oh, do I say the word? Normally I would never have a problem with saying anything like that. Like I'm very free speech and shit like that, but some words are just like off limits to some people and they really act like they're physically hurt because you said some shit. That shit always, whatever happened to sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Whatever happened to that? Anyway, kicking it with Christy, you can always feel free to say whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? I know you kind of limited to the text right now, but if you want to go live, if you got shit that you want to tell the world, my platform is open to you, friend. I find myself reflecting on that in a lot of situations with my parents, but I don't react, I reflect. I think it's growing. I think it's growth in changing family trauma. Facts. Facts. It's almost 4 p.m. my time. I just made a latte, so I'm drinking coffee with you. That's what's up, Mrs. Clayton. How are you, by the way? Is there an update on Michaela? I mean, it was only, what, 2 days ago? So, but how is she feeling? Is she hopefully not spiraling in the lower direction? Very welcome, kicking it with Christy. This is what we do. This is what this is about. I'm the guy with the face on the camera, but it don't always have to be that way. I'm definitely more than willing to share. Serena was good. I didn't say hi. All right, next order of business. I'm trying to set you up somewhere. How's that? We are about to trim some flowers. Because one thing I realized when I moved back here to Florida is I will not by in any shape, form, or fashion, I will not have flowers on my dining room table. Where I used to live, that was my thing. I made sure that there were always a bouquet of fucking flowers on a dining room table. And just because I'm not living there anymore doesn't mean that I shouldn't do that. So we've got flowers over there. They need to be clipped and rewatered. And that's what we're about to do. And then after that, I might roll something up. Damn, coffee is good, son. I never liked coffee. I don't know where this shit is coming from. I hit 40, or maybe since like 35, I've been fucking with coffee heavy. But to be drinking coffee at fucking 7:30 at night is diabolical. I don't know what I'm doing to myself right now. Smell amazing. Those little yellow ones, I don't know what they're called. Sunflowers, dandelions maybe. The babies have been going for like a month. This pink one right here, she's been going for like a month. They're left over from the last bouquet I had. Hi, since I was asking you, how do you deal with that now? If when you were a kid and you felt like you were being silenced and your response was to cry, how do you deal with that as an adult? Do you still cry? Or if you feel like you're gonna cry, what makes you stop? That was the question. Mrs. Clayton said she had a contest MRI Friday, so we have a week for all these test results to come back. We're praying for no chemo and radiation. Facts. Just a mastectomy and reconstructive surgery. Oh, I hear that. And what's the word? It's somber. I'm somber that we're already resigned. Like, I'm saying we, like I'm involved in the shit. That Michaela's already resigned to like having to get surgery. Like, I hate that Western medicine is like that. You know what I mean? The first thing they do is want to put you on a pharmaceutical and fucking put you under the knife. Where I feel like in another country, in an Eastern country like China or fucking India, they have a plethora of ways to help you. You know what I mean? I hate that it's that way, but it is what it is. Bryce asked, what made me cut the locks? When I first started to grow my locks in 2010, I think, 2009, I told myself that I was only going to keep them for 7 years because that was what I always did. Since I was 13 years old, I would grow my hair out for like 4 or 5 years with the braids. Then I would cut it, rock the waves for like 2 or 3 years. Then I would grow it out, and that's what I did. So when I got the locks, I said that's what I was gonna do. But that ain't happened. I ended up fucking keeping them shits for like what, 14 years, I think it was. Ended up keeping my locks for like 14 years. And I cut them after, I cut them down to my shoulders, or up to my shoulders, I should say. After my first daughter was born, really just for the relief of having heavy ass hair. And then I cut them again after they grew super long, like back up to my shoulders. And then after my second daughter was born, I just said like I just feel like it's time. I wanted a change. And so I got like a burst fade as my first haircut and did not like it. It was shattering. Like, just a fucking haircut. The most earth shattering thing about it was probably because After I cut my locks, I realized my hair was thinning. And as I can't speak for nobody else, but I feel like I can speak for most men, if not all of us. If your hair starts thinning, I don't give a fuck if you're 70 and your hair starts thinning. It's like you lost inches on your ratchet. You know what I'm saying? That's how it felt for me. It felt like somebody told me I had a terminal disease or some shit. It just didn't feel good. So since then, I just been like spraying like rosemary oil. I gotta get some I forget what this shit is called, but it's some other type of oil that you can put, and it kind of helps the hair follicles wake up or whatever. Get some light therapy fucking hats or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. But if I can do something about it, I fucking will. And that's the goal. But thanks for asking. I hope that satisfies your curiosity. I had to wash the dishes before I could cut the flowers. Smart Savvy says I have a peace lily, Christmas cactus, and a pothos plant. That's what's up. I never heard of a Christmas cactus, but I love pothos plants. I had one, and somebody robbed them. Somebody literally stole all of my house plants that I kept in this house from the last time I lived here. They took them, and you know who you are. I know who you are too. I'm not even mad at you because you know what? You need help. And then plants might help you keep you company. Filter out the bullshit that's in your air system. Kicking it with Christy says, thank you, Groovy. I'm a bit of an introvert, so I do prefer my own company, but sometimes it can get lonely, so I hope for the same. I just need one good friend. Hey, you got a bunch of friends over here, Christy. People in this community, in this chat, once you get to know them, are the dopest kind of people. Doper than the middle of the spoon. Word. Sending prayers up for Miss Michaela and Mrs. Clayton and the whole fam going through it right now. For that good healing. We gonna make it. You already know. Alright, let me get this flower food real quick. Gotta keep the flower food on Dizak. Oh shit, what the fuck? My fingers is wet, so fucking up. Alright, here we go. One good friend, there we go. Praying for the fam. High Sense says, got you. I became aware of the space available to breathe. As an adult, before getting in tune with me, I did still cry. Now I breathe. I like that. You ever been in that? Because this happens to me sometimes. Like, you feel that sensation that you're about to cry, right? And then you're like, nah, I ain't gonna cry, I ain't gonna cry, I ain't gonna cry. So you start to breathe shallow, because you know once you take a deep breath, it's over. The crying is gonna happen. And it might be one of them ugly cries, like one of them fucking wail into the moonlight cries. I've been there. I have been there. I think that's enough water. What you think? Yeah. Alright. It's to a point that it can spread to the lymphatic system, also to prevent it from coming back. It's the size of Mandarin orange and on the verge of stage 3. Whew. Yeah, I know that's what they be saying. I know. They're good at that. And not to say that it's not true neither, because I don't want to, I'm not a fucking doctor. I don't know the first thing about the sea. I just know in my conspiracy theory mind that Western medicine is hell-bent on the treatment instead of the cure. So they come up with all these fucking things to convince you. Like, they become salesmen at a point on why you need to get surgery or whatever. But like I said, I don't know shit. And I couldn't even begin to put myself in your shoes of having to make that existential choice. What y'all think? Should I cut these and keep them or toss them? Because it's slimy. And if I cut them up to here, I would probably cut them up to here. Nah, I'm going to toss them. Who's next? Kicking it with Chris, he said, I bought myself flowers today too. That's what's up. Always keep fresh flowers. I don't know what it is about fresh flowers, but for me, it just keeps it fresh on my mind of what it feels like to take care of something vulnerable and delicate, and to stay that way, stay open to taking care of something that needs me to survive. Because all flowers are essentially dead once you take them out of the fucking ground. But they persist. Don't tell a flower it's dead. Just give it some food and some water. Some light. And they'll stick around for a hot second. Let me put these shits right here for a second. HB Groovy, what up? I don't think I said what up to you. Christy, I'm the same way. I'm super introverted, but I'm really close with my sisters and my husband, so it's nice to be known by the people I love authentically, while also still having alone time. More heard. I was reading something the other day, but I can't quite remember it. But there's another type of vert that's out there. I think it's called a ultravert or some shit like that. I always thought there was just introverts and extroverts, but there's a whole nother vert out there that you rarely hear about, and I'm pretty sure it's called like a ultravert. ATOTRA or some shit like that. Oh, you know we got you, Mrs. Clayton. If we're gonna do one thing, we're gonna pray for each other. Lord knows I need him. Oh, look at that. This flower has been sitting and it's like dead on the top. But it grew a new little limb. Look at that. Don't give up. Don't give up, sweet baby. Smart savvy. If you take good care of a Christmas cactus, they live to be 50 to 100 years old. I think that's most succulents though, nah? Or am I bugging? I feel like succulents don't never die. You take good care of them bitches. You're fucking immortal. Oh, that just reminds me of the succulents that I used to take care of in the VO office. Because right across the street from the office was a garden. And I fucking used to get succulents from over there that they left and nobody wanted them. I asked, of course. I just didn't steal them. And he said, yeah, go ahead. I even think I bought some, matter of fact. And those are my little babies. And I never took them. All good. I'm all about leaving places better than what you found them. You already know. Pittsburgh, Mississippi. Thank you for the live show. What up, Jimmy Armstrong? Welcome. Shout out to the whole Mississippi, MISSI, SSI, PPPI. Learning how to spell Mississippi was like a game as a kid. We used to just, like how these kids be saying 6-7 now, that was how we used to say Mississippi to each other back in the day. Oh, I don't know if this one is gonna make it, yo. I don't know how to save it. If I did save it, it would just be this lonely one right here. I'm just gonna cut that. Maybe this one. All right, 3 more. Ken was good, yo. Welcome to the chat. What's good? Oh, Lou's in the building. What's good, oh Lou? What up, my brother? From another mother. Out there in hot ass Nevada. Or was it Arizona? I forget. I know that you was just in one of the places that's hotter than Florida. I'm pretty sure it was Arizona. Maybe Nevada, one of them shits. Puerto Rico's in the house. Good to see you, Oludo. It's been a minute. Hope all is well with you, my friend. We kicking it. Continuing on with the continue on. You already know. Ken says, if I feel the need to cry, then I'm going to do it. I just make sure I'm alone. Ooh, let's talk about it, Ken. Why don't you cry in public spaces? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What do you feel about, how do you feel about crying in front of people? Huh? I like I love the way Japanese people say, I can't even say it right. Ha? The H-A-H. Ha? That's my shit. I love it when they do that shit. It's like, you said some disrespectful shit when they hit you with the, huh? I still can't do it right. I love it. I especially love it when women do it. Because women do it when they're about to act tough. Alright. We got all our flowers cut. Now we got to arrange them. The important thing about putting flowers back in the vase is making sure you get no dead, decaying material back in the water, because that stops them from lasting as long as they can. And when you make your bouquet, you want to make it as round, well, at least me, my preference is making them as round and even as possible. Kind of like a fro. You want it to look like a fro. A nice, thick afro. And then when you got shorties like this, what do? Put them on the bottom. Make sure they get in the water. Doop. That's why I don't make the water too high. And also, you don't want to put anybody in front of anybody, because then they'll feel a way about not being seen. They're gonna be like, oh, you don't want me to be seen? Well, fuck you then, bitch. Whenever I envision flowers speaking, they always use a lot of profanity. Because it's like the most unfloweristic characteristic, there we go, that they could have is using profanity. Cursing ass flowers. If I ever start a flower shop, I'm gonna name it Cursed Bouquets. All the brujas are gonna come to the shop. Alright, there we go. Alright, I think that's good. Doop. And we dunk them in the water. Is everybody in the water? No. Hold up, I'm gonna get to the comments in a minute. I just gotta put the last touches on this joint. The last touches on this joint. Ah. No bueno. Alright, y'all come with me. Okay. Hot Sense says, yep, I've done that. Talk to myself right into a spiral. Vanessa Van Life, what's good? Welcome to the chat. Long time no see. I think you sound start Van Life, Car Life again. You think I should start Van Life again? Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Right now, I don't really feel like it's in the cards. But yeah, I did see something that you put on my channel, or a comment or something, not too long ago. I think you said something about my hair was growing, right? And I was like, it is growing. No, look at all that flour that just dropped in the water. No bueno, fam. But I'm not about to do it over, so I'm gonna just stop playing with it and just leave it as is. Well, what up, Vanessa? How you been, love? It's been a minute. I'm pretty sure you still out there doing a van life and all of that. Your boy, pause. Your man needs a crib. because I gotta have rooms for my daughters. So van life in the future, but not the near future. Oh wow, I'm way behind. Everybody's talking about toss. We're also doing all of the herbs and energy work. She's actually a Reiki healer. Oh, okay, that's what's up. I'm happy to hear it. Ambivert might be Omnivert. I always use Omnivert. Yeah, but I think it's another one. I gotta Google it later. That tap water will dead your flowers. You know what? You right about that, Olu. And this is one of the first times that I use tap water. I usually use bottled water, but I change the water every 2 days anyway, so they'll last for 2 days. I'm starting my seeds for my garden this weekend. I'm looking forward to. I know that's right. New things are grow. You have to grow them 3 months indoors. Yeah, yeah. You got. I know you already got like the grow lights and all of that. Chelsea Kramer, what's good? Bro, for real thought, your daughters will look back and not be impressed you weren't mature enough to stay with your mom with your mama. Okay, random person on the internet thinking that they know what they're talking about. This is some dusty shit, bro. Go be with your daughters and their mama. Okay, Chelsea, good for you. Thanks for sharing your opinion. So ambivert is a person whose personality type falls between intro and extrovert, exhibiting a balance of traits from them both. Yeah. Yeah, ambivert. I get that. It's kind of like ambidextrous, whatever the word is. Okay, Chelsea. Welcome to the block party. Boop. That's simple. Stupid asshole. For real. People have no fucking idea what they be talking about, and they want to say the most. No idea what the fuck you talking about, fam. And you know what's crazier is you would never say that in my face, because you wouldn't have the opportunity. I would tell you to shut the fuck up and probably mush the fuck out of you for talking that crazy in my presence. But people get online and they got their keyboards and they're like, oh, I'm safe to type whatever I want to type. Lonely. Don't have a life of their own. No business. I like this saying. One of my favorite sayings is, if you had some business to mind, you would mind your business. Or some shit like that. I forget how exactly it goes. If you had some business to mind, you would mind your business. Mind your business so you have some business to mind. Some shit like that. I love it. But don't bother me. Shit don't bother me at all. Like, random people on the internet, I'm just happy they feel motivated to come check on me. You know what I mean? Like, you, regardless of the content of what whoever that person was saying, they still love me enough to be that involved. You know what I mean? Whether she knows it or not. Like, she was calling me dusty and all of that shit, but bitch, you love me. That's why you're here. That's why you feel like you know my story, is because you fucking love me. Because if you hated me, you wouldn't. You wouldn't be here. You'd be gone doing some other shit. You got no time for me, right? Because you hate. I digress. Yeah, that flower at the bottom, yeah. Uh, they'll be alright. It's only gonna be 2 days till I change them again. Vanessa Van Life Journey says I'm doing great, getting back on the road. Just got through building my new. Okay, you got the new van. That's what's up. That van life is one of the most beautiful things. I encourage everybody in the world, if you have not yet, definitely move into some type of a vehicle, RV, truck, even if you know what I mean, if you're single enough and you got not that much stuff to just get in like your fucking 4-door, 2-door, and just put the seats all the way back, do it. Life out on the road is the most beautiful, freeing thing you could do for yourself. And if it's sustainable to you, you know what I'm saying? Like some people, you could do it for a few days, camp out at some scenic places, and then for the next few days, stay at like a little cheap motel or whatever, just so you could take a shower. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of gas stations that offer showers. It's definitely dope, man. I highly recommend it. And to be able to tell people later on, like yeah, I lived in a van for a year or however long you do it. People always want to know how you did it, what you saw, where'd you go. Like it just gives you so many stories. It's a great icebreaker for people. When I retire, Smart Savvy says, God willing, RV. Facts. I saw this fucking flavor. I think it was like a Ford 150 or something, but the dude had like the dual axle in the back, and he had a long ass RV hitched to it. And when I saw it, I was like, "Yo, that shit look great. It's fire." And in my mind, I just saw like an older white man because that's just what we're programmed to see or whatever. But when I pulled up on the side of him, it was like a middle-aged black guy. You know, I don't really like to use the term black and or white, but just for the sake of conversation, it was a black guy. And I was fucking surprised. And I was like, man, I gotta stop being surprised at shit like that. But it was dope. And I was so happy for that man. Like I remember riding on the side of him for a minute, like trying to catch eye contact with him so I could give him the head nod like I've been there type shit. But he wasn't worried about me. He was doing whatever he was doing in his van. He had like an extra screen in the console and shit. I saw that shit. I was like, what you got going on in there? But I love to see it. I love to see people getting out and make it makes my heart sing to see everybody of all shapes, colors, and sizes getting out there into the open, seeing the world, and not just like routing, rotting on their couch. Yep, it's beautiful, man. So I highly suggest it to everybody. All the state parks they have showers and laundromats. They have laundromats in state parks? I don't know about that. I've never seen it. Miss Jones was good. Long time no see. Hello. Thank you for dropping in real quick as it may be. I feel like you've been dropping and popping the last few ones. You've been dropping and rocking the last 2, 3 times I saw you. You just in and out. I'm just teasing you though. I hope you have a beautiful night, beautiful weekend, and all of that. I thought about doing that back in 2021. I ain't do it. I was scared, and I let people get in my head. Fuck that, High Sense. You could do it. Just do it. Do it. Go. Well, I suppose by the time you get a trailer or RV or you could rent them now. Matter of fact, that market has gotten so popular that there are places you could rent a whole ass fucking RV. They make them in small sizes and they make them in big sizes, so you don't necessarily gotta go get a whole CDO. But you could rent one and just rock with it for like a week. You know, bring a good friend if you have it. Uh, Strap up if you really feeling like frightened about it, and you be alright. Call me up, tell you what you. I won't leave you out there all by yourself. But it's great to be by yourself with yourself. Just you underneath the stars in the middle of a state park somewhere with nobody necessarily around you. It's scary because you never know. Like it could be aliens, Bigfoot, a kaiju, anything popping up out of the ground and dropping from the sky and just fucking with you. But that's what kind of makes it so exhilarating. You like, oh shit, I'm out here by myself. Anything can happen. But 9 times out of 10, you sleep peacefully through the night. You know, And you wake up and like, yo, I'm really out here in the middle of fucking nowhere. And you get the best sunrises, best sunsets ever. Oh yeah, Planet Fitness. Yeah. If you have a Planet Fitness membership, I definitely used to use Planet Fitness for a place to stop in and get a shower. We used to stay in the fucking parking lots and shit for maybe sometimes a couple days at a time. Yeah, man. Good times. Good times. Tomoka State Park got a laundromat. Wow, fancy. Oh, you drive semi? You got a CDL? Okay, okay. Humans are scarier than any extraterrestrial being ever could be. Don't say that, Miss Jones. You don't know. If you ever came across the extraterrestrial, you probably came across the nice ones. What if there's really mean ones? You know that harvest organs, fingernails, or take you and then leave like a androgynous fucking clone in your steed, and everybody think that's you, but it ain't really you. It's just another alien wearing your skin. That's scary. Not to say that that's gonna happen. I'm just fucking with you. But I do kind of agree with you. Humans are very frightening. Just look at the world around us. I just spent some time at a state park in Nevada, and BLM, BLM, BLM land. I went between both of them for 2 weeks. I never seen a washer and dryer at a state park, but that would be great. Oh, I feel you. That's what I was saying. I never seen it. Oh, your guy is a truck driver. Okay, that's what's up. Oh shit. I always see whenever I see truck drivers, like over the road truck drivers with the cabin and shit, and I see like their partner with them, whatever the case, I'm like, yo, that's a fucking dope idea. Like, I should have got into that shit earlier. You know what I mean? Get the CDL, go over the road. Truck stops would never be the same. Mr. Jones says I'm an alien. I know my species. Mrs. Clayton says my grandmother was 4'11" and was a truck driver on the army base in Fairbanks, Alaska. The only female truck driver in the late 70s, early 80s. Driving is in my blood. I already know. I remember. I think one of the first conversations I ever had with you, Miss Clayton, y'all was driving from somewhere like in the Midwest or like the East Coast or Chicago, dare I say? Y'all was driving back to Alaska, so I already know you good with the driving. I feel like driving is in my blood too because damn near almost every job that I've ever had included driving. The one I have now is a driving role, and it is therapeutic. It's very independent. Like I kind of prefer that. Like just let me shut up and drive. Stop looking over my shoulder and asking me to do this and that. Just navigate this traffic. Oh, it's in Florida. Yeah, Florida's one of them. Florida's a special state. Florida's a special state. So many people do RV and camping shit here. I feel like it's a way of life, especially with the retirees and all of that. I just pulled a nasty booger out my nose right in front of y'all. Don't hate me. Oh, it's still going. You ever get one of them forever boogers? Like as long as you pull it, it just keep giving. The booger that gives, the gift that keeps giving. Damn. K Dozer, what's good? Long time no see. It's not too late. I know someone who did CDL in their 50s. I think my dad started his CDL in his 50s as well. So yeah, you're right. It's definitely not too late. But when I say too late, I just mean like for me, there's other interest in things that I have my mind set on that I don't think CDL is in my future. It may be. I'm not gonna count it completely out because, like I said, I do love driving, but there's other things that I'd much rather be doing. And by the time I go get a CDL, it's gonna be like, oh, like I've pretty much given up on all those other things that I wanted to do, which would be a sorry state of existence. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I do acknowledge that there is always a pretty much always a high demand for CDL drivers. At least until these AI bots and shit take over, and they perfect it to the state where, like, they might even legislate that shit into existence one day. Like, manual driving is not even going to be a thing in like 15, 20 years. They're going to say that it's unsafe and robots could do it better. And the only time you actually get to touch your steering wheel is in a case of an emergency or an electronic fucking malfunction. Some shit like that. You already know. And then they're going to make you pay a subscription. A subscription to be able to take over your wheel and drive on your own. Like, that's going to cost extra when you get a car. Oh, shit. Let me get my fucking... Oh, shit. We just crossed the hour mark, man. This conversation has been pretty good because I didn't even realize we've been talking for that long. Yes, it's fun until we hit the mountains. He's been doing his thing, though. What's up? The mountains are hard to drive through? I suppose. You got the elevation, you got the windiness. And then the car be struggling because of the thinness of the air. I could imagine that happens to trucks too. Like, the thinness of the air makes you use a lot more horsepower or gas or whatever. And then all of inclines and declines. Yeah, I remember having to pay extra attention when we was going through the mountains in a van. It's a coin-operated laundromat. That's what's up. Like your hair, get out your nose. I'm done with it. You know, I'm just one of them people. Yo, wow, I was really about to tell y'all how one of the first things I do in the morning is like pick my nose. Not even gonna hold you. It's like when I wake up, I'm immediately aware of something in my air passage. Brandon was good. Thank you for the 100. Oh, I forgot to look up those people too that you was roasting me with the other day. I still got the screenshots though. It's too late for never too late for anything in this world. Stuff be legit happening right on time. That's a fact. You can take the test just to have it. You right about that too. I could just take the test just to have it. I wonder if you could just sign up to take the test, or do you have to do it through a school? Because I read the CDL manual. I've read that shit like 3 times because I used to consider it. My dad he's been trying forever to get me to get a CDL, and I took it seriously, but I just always knew that it's not what I want to do. But I pretty much know the whole inspection process, pre and post inspection, and I could imagine that I know so much about driving that if I was to take the test, I could kind of ace it, especially the written test. I know how to drive manual, and my dad told me that a lot of trucks they're not even manual no more, they're automatic, so that's gonna be super easy. We'll get there though. The altitude is wild on you, high sense. Why is that? It changes your whole character. It changes your whole character. You're actually putting bacteria in your nose when you pick it. Is that so? What if your hands are clean? And from what I know is there's a such thing as good bacteria and bad bacteria. So take that. Driving in Alaska is nothing but endless nature, no city driving. I could imagine. I probably, if I was driving through Alaska, I'd pull over at least in the beginning so many times just to look at the northern lights or whatever. That should have had me in awe. There's no way I could look at it and pay attention to the road at the same time. I was like this the whole time, like, oh shit. Depends on the state. You can sometimes just pay the fee. Oh, or you could just pay the fee to get the upgrade. Sienna was good. Your breathing be different. Your head be a little woozy. I see that. Unseen, you're probably a hoot in real life. Yes, I did just use that Caucasian ass terminology with you. You're probably a, a real hoot. But you know what I mean. I feel like you mad funny. All right, so what else? Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? If y'all missed the beginning of the video, that's when I talked about the finding the freedom to do whatever you want. Having to engineer and edit things that I say. I'm just going through my notes. Without being condemned and reacted against, especially physically. The grace that knows sometimes, if not a lot of times, we say things we regret later and didn't mean it. Wow, I covered that without having to look back at my notes. My memory is sharp, boy. What else? What else? What else? It don't get dark in the summer. Yeah, I already know. But wait, that means the Northern Lights is gone for months at a time in Alaska? Oh, that's trash. I don't like that. I'm gonna need the Northern Lights every night. So in the summer, if it doesn't get dark, there's still a difference between like the middle of the day and the periphery of the day, though, right? Like, is there any variation in the brightness at all? Like, is there a dusk and a dawn at least? Oh, the Northern Lights are in the coldest, darkest part of the year? Wow. Thank you for the information, but I'm actually tired that I know that now. Well, happy that I know that, so I don't. When we bring the fam, when we bring the chat to Alaska, we're coming in the coldest, darkest part of the year. Because I need to see it. I need to see it. Saved. Collections. Powerful. Whoopsie. Well, I got nothing from Instagram that I want to show you. Anybody want to talk about current events? We could definitely do that. What y'all think about the world? What you think? Where you think the world is headed right now? What are your predictions? Because I'm at a loss, family. Vanessa's van life journey. You're doing van life chores. What are van life chores? If somebody asked me what are van life chores, I'd be like, I don't know, checking my oil, making sure my tires are inflated, are properly inflated. All right, so if you see me rolling up, which you might, just know that I'm not rolling up anything with any legal repercussions. Okay, these are herbs, natural herbs. Not to say that cannabis isn't a natural herb, but this is not cannabis. Okay, this is damn, I forget what it's called. I know one of them is lavender, Go-To Cola, Mountain Mint, and there might be another. Oh, Tulsi. That's what this is. Tulsi, Mountain Mint, Go-To Cola, and lavender. That's what I'm about to roll up. So don't even try to come for me, YouTube. All right, I've given out the disclaimer. I used to think, like, man, being an adult is boring because I can do what I want, and I don't know, and I don't know of anything else. But it's like my perspective of life was changed. So here I am, feeling free. So being an adult was boring, huh? Because there were so many choices, and you could do any of them. That's interesting. I wonder if you, well, I'm sure what your answer is, but I was saying this in the last live, how I feel like there's some people in the world who kind of, they prefer to be told what to do because of that. You know what I mean? Like there's so much decision and choice that goes into everyday life that some people get fatigued, or it's just, it's inundating is the word. No, it's overwhelming to have that much choice, and so they choose to do nothing, and the choice of constantly doing nothing becomes boring. I don't know, I'm probably reading that wrong. I'm probably reading that wrong because I'm sure that's not what you mean. Not if what I know of you, high sense, but yeah, man. For me, being an adult has not been boring at all, at any point. Have I ever been bored as an adult? Yes. But I think I was bored because there were things that I'd rather be doing than doing what I was doing at the time, because that's what I felt like I needed to do, you know? Such as working in a 9 to 5 that I don't really wanna do. Like this is not my career of choice. This is not something that I'm excited to do. However, I need to pay bills, so I'm here. And even if I was busy at that job, I'd be bored as fuck because I'm just like, this can't be life. But it is. But it is. We'll go to the hot springs, that way we can be warm while we wash. Yes, that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want. You said it, Mrs. Clayton, the fucking hot springs. And in a perfect world, so we all meet up in Alaska, right? Boom. And once everybody's there, we hang out in Alaska for like 3-4 days, kick it, and then everybody hops on another flight and we go to Nippon. If you don't know what Nippon is, that's what Japanese people call Japan. They don't call Japan Japan. The proper term for Japan and what we call Japan is Nippon. Nippon. So we all hop on a flight to Nippon and we kick it out there and live that life on some tatami mats. Tatami mats is like the traditional architecture of a Japanese home where they have like those sliding doors and the paper walls and Everybody sleeps on the floor. Yeah. In a perfect world, that's what happens. That's how that plays out. Oh, you taking a van life bath? Oh shit. I already know. Those are like bird baths. Unless you got some people got that it's like an actual shower where I guess somehow you get the water above you and it just rolls down this pipe and you get to take like a quick ass shower, an actual shower. But that's what's up. Good that you don't need to rely on some type of some type of place of business to take a shower. I definitely remember taking whole ass bird baths in like public restrooms and shit like that. That's happened before. Hi Sin says, I think the world is headed towards Wally and Ready Player One, but mentally, virtually, the physical world will still be a thing, but missed by many by their choice. Yeah, I kind of see that being a thing too. Especially if nuclear warfare breaks out, which you can't really count that out because we have a psycho sociopath in the Oval Office. This is not even a conspiracy theory. It's not conjecture. It's not something that I read off the internet and didn't confirm. It's actually factually documented by the Department of War because we don't have a Department of Defense anymore. It's now retitled the Department of War. They told soldiers when all this Iran shit started popping off, I guess the upper brass sent out a memorandum to people who are giving out orders, so to speak, that this the war that we're going into or starting with Iran is basically a holy war, and God and Jesus personally appointed Donald Trump as the bringer to usher in the end times. Like that, the end times, Trump being touched by Jesus or anointed by Jesus was like, that's what they literally told them. And I still can't believe it because you're you're not supposed to be able to mix the state with religion, and that's exactly what they did. So they we we have labeled Iran specifically a theological dictatorship where basically we feel like Islam is an evil religion and they're radical because of that, like they're pro martyrs or whatever. And then we demonize that. And then they turn around and do the same thing, but in the name of Christianity for this administration. It just blows my mind how stupid shit could be. And the fact that this guy is not even like how all of them aren't in jail, I will never know. Like Hillary Clinton testified, Bill Clinton testified behind closed doors, but they still had a day to testify. And the dude who was mentioned the most in the e-files started a war and hasn't testified in front of anybody. And these people are known pedos. So it's just a wild fucking world that we're living in these days. So many people have decided to not have children because of how wild it is. And that alone says a lot. Because do you know how scared you have to be to give up your natural instinct for self-preservation, to reproduce? It's wild, man. Okay. It'll be -30. Oh, okay. We might have to think. We might have to rethink that. We might have to rethink. -30? Fam. I thought, like, we might go to like -5. I could do -5, maybe -10 if I got the proper clothing. But I feel like there's nothing you can do in -30. You can stand in the middle of a fire pit in -30 and still be cold. Damn, -30. Like, does it even matter how negative it is after -10? Cause I felt what -4 feels like living in New York, and it's not fucking fun. I remember that. I definitely remember that. And I don't even think I went outside to really feel it. I remember being inside and feeling it. Woo child. I honestly feel the exact same way. I enjoy life, but I ask, what's next in meditation? Shaolin came to mind and I looked into it. I'm familiar with martial arts, so I think I'll find the next part. I love that. See, and I was actually doing some Tai Chi today. And yeah, so I think we're connected on that one. I've been I've been called heavily into like the art of crafting the energy, the energetic sphere around our body, and I think Tai Chi is one of the best expressions of that because they literally create balls of energy and move them around, and then they follow it by tapping. That's the type of shit I'm into right now. Hi, Sensei. It was boring because I had fun, all those things I knew to do. I grew up fast. So when I became an adult, it was like, oh, what to do now? I didn't know what I didn't know. I hear that. You kind of, you've explored all the things, the adult things before you were an adult. Same. Some BS crap. Right under the jail. Facts. The Eastern War. Facts. Yeah, the latest, I don't know if he said it verbally out of his mouth, but you guys know that the president, I don't even know if that's the name of the role that dude had. I forget his name right now. Imam, I think his name was, but he was killed, and he was killed in an admirable way. I want to say he died in his house. They bombed his house, and the reason why he didn't run to some bomb shelter somewhere because he said, no, the people of my country can't run anywhere when these bombs are dropping. So who am I to run? He's like, I'm gonna stay right fucking here. That was some noble shit. But anyway, the new president said that that they are God's army, talking about Iran, and they won't fall to Epstein's army. And I was like, whew, what a bar. What a fucking bar. Like the whole world is looking at America so suspect right now. I'm in America and American, and I've always, at least since my later high school year, my junior year of high school, I've been looking at America with the side eye, the heavy side eye. And Vanessa's van life journey said, I can't do negative nothing. Facts, yo. Once the temperature falls below, the freezing temperature, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm in all types of layers. I got thermals on, I got double socks on. So I definitely feel you, Vanessa, on that one. I can't do negative nothing. But if that's what I gotta do to see the Northern Lights, I'll tough it out. But remember how I was saying we was only gonna spend a couple of days in Alaska? A few days in Alaska? Now it might be 1 or 2 because -30 is crazy. But if Mrs. Clayton takes us to the hot springs, that'll be pretty dope to be in like some really hot ass water while it's cold, so your ears and your nose are freezing, but the rest nah. I've never actually been in a hot spring. The closest thing I ever got to a hot spring was a fucking jacuzzi, and that's pretty comfy. Hey, Mrs. Stewart, what's good with you? How you been? Long time no see. I believe it. I believe it. I bet. So we around that 1 hour, 30-minute part of the journey. I'm almost done rolling up my herbs or whatever. I'm grateful for you guys that y'all be showing up for you, man. Having these talks with me. It's fucking cool. I'm fucking lucky. And I'm looking forward to evolving all of this shit, you know? These lives. Getting good use of the encoder. That way we can look at media together and talk about the media that we're looking at instead of me having to pull up my old phone and like hold it up to the camera and like, look at this. Like, I really want to be one of those YouTube live streamers who can screen share, hit a fucking, a button and make some fancy shit pop up on the screen, or like a sound effect of some sort. Like, we'll get there. But until then, I still got to stay consistent because I'm committed to this. You already know. This is what we do. This is what we do. What happened to Brandon? Brandon came in, dropped the hundreds, and got out of here. That's what's up. Appreciate that. Appreciate all of you guys. Like I was saying, it's very, very dope that a lot of you are consistent. You keep up with me. Allow me to yap my head off and have good conversations. Elevating community as we all deserve and need. I'll go as far as say we need that. I need it for my own fucking mental health. Because y'all know, your man be in his head all day. As I was talking about in the beginning of this live, if I don't have nothing good to say, I'm not saying shit. If I don't got nothing productive to say, nothing that I feel will elevate the people, the participants of the conversation forward, I ain't saying shit. So for me, it says something that I show up every other day. And I'll be back tomorrow because tomorrow is an even day. The only things I have on my plate tomorrow are laundry. I gotta take my car to the car wash. I gotta study the charts. I got some school shit to study. Cause in addition to studying charts, I've been studying like real estate and finance. So, cause my credit has been improving steadily. And when it gets to a certain point, the idea, the goal is to buy my first fucking house. Like me, just me, no help, no co-owner type of situation. Maybe I'll let my dad be a co-owner and or the trust that I will buy the house under. Huh? That's some shit you might not have never heard of. You start a trust, a foreign trust, and everything you buy is under the trust. So I'll buy the house under the trust, and then the beneficiaries of said trust will be my daughter. So technically, it'll be their fucking house. And my dad is calling me. So I love you all. Let me answer that. I'm gonna say this prayer real quick. To the one of us who is many, we come to you in total awareness. Please grant my friends peace, progress, prosperity, patience, persuasion, pleasure, and panacea in this eternal present. Aho, Amen, Ashe, and Laak, and Lakin. No, and Laak, Alakin. There we go. Love you all. Till next time. That to my guys. Olu, what happened to Olu? He dipped in and out. Big hugs to my friends. And to all the ladies out there. Alright? I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. Peace, love, and hair grease. Stay hydrated, stay nourished. Take care of your mind, body, and soul. I'll see y'all tomorrow. One.